think about the skill ceiling, the new heights of skill ceiling, knowing 60 anomalies and how they interact with each board and each champion, and which one is the best in slot anomaly for each fucking board. I mean, this is just another level of knowledge that pros will have.
Welcome to the Diamond Dad's first Set 13 TFT stream. I'm here joined by Junior Mafia and Grandmaster TFT Oxo Kovacs. Well, I guess technically it's a new set, so you're not Grandmaster yet. We all got to climb our way to the top.
On the same level as you.
We're all on the same level right now. So, yeah.
Iron one, baby.
Yeah, let's go. So I think we'll just dive in. We've all had a chance to play a little bit of PBE and, randomly mess around with comps today. And I think it would be beneficial for us to do a little study group together. So why don't we turn the driver's seat over to Oxo and let's go from there.
Sure. New set, new mechanic. First, we should discuss the new set mechanic, which is the Augments. Or what is it called, actually? Anomalies, right?
Anomalies, yeah.
Anomalies. So now we don't have charms anymore. Instead, we have anomalies, which changes the game, but quite late into the game. So at 4-6, you can choose to kind of alter one unit. Obviously, your key carry or tank that you used in your set or in your board. And I think this changes how you play the game by a huge margin. The first few games I played, I felt like the set is gonna be skewed towards more towards reroll a little bit, because reroll was always about getting that one super carry to 3-star and buffing it off with support items and augments and that sort of things. And basically this anomalies are just one other tool to buff up that super carry. So I'm a bit worried we're gonna see a lot of rerolls this set because of this. What you guys think?
That's a good point. You know what it reminds me of a little bit, actually? It reminds me of a set 10 reverse headliner mechanic. Like you build your entire board almost or most of it around like one of those headliner type carries in anticipation of upgrading them when the anomaly hits on 4-6, if you can make it to 4-6.
True, headliners. Yeah. They were very similar. True.
Yeah.
I haven't thought about that.
I've only played maybe five games so far, and I think it took me a little while to realize that, like, if you're planning to swap your carry to a 5 cost later, like, you're never gonna be able to do that,
Yeah.
And so I ended up like buffing a random tank, my highest level tank or something. And of course the anomaly has to fit that, right, as well, because sometimes you get a tank anomaly, sometimes you get an attack anomaly or whatever.
That was exactly what I was also thinking, is that sometimes you have a fast 9 comp in mind and you don't hit your main carry, and then you're fucked because your anomaly is at 4-6 each game, so you can't.
Would you say that like makes a fast 9 like a higher risk?
A fast 9 is
or
definitely
almost
a
impossible.
higher risk, or almost impossible in the
It's not that it's impossible. You can probably do it or pull it off, but most people aren't hitting that 9 even on a fast 9 with the pickup of your legendary by 4-6, right? And so it's a little bit riskier. You could probably lean towards having a super tank in that case, using the anomaly.
I'm gonna get
I don't know.
I don't know
if it's good.
Briar equivalent off the carousel at 4-2, so I'm not stressing.
Yeah, but not everyone has the super luck, as you do. Have you guys encountered any really cool ones though? Anomalies? I had one that I was I got hit by a lot of violets early, so like a 1 cost. So I did a family reroll without any hero augments or anything, and then I got hit. I have to look for this route. deep roots. Oh yeah, this one, it was fucking hilarious, and everyone was pinging it to my board. So gain 700 health, some armor and magic resist, and the character that you put cannot move or be stunned, so they cannot move, but they pull their target into range. So the Y was standing there with 2 gloves, and it's just like pulled targets from the corner, hitting them, pulled another target. It was fucking awesome. I lost, but it
Wow.
was fucking awesome. I got like 5th place because this is a tank augment, right? Yeah, there's a huge variety of these things. I think this
Yeah.
one was the one that I built several times on magic carries. This one, when we had a 1v1 with Stu at the end of the game, and I put this on the Zoe, so like this one gain energy absorption, gain 30 ability power each time an ally dies, gain 5% of their ability power. So when your ally dies, you gain 5% of their AP. That's quite a bit if you have 9 units on the board.
Yeah, that's what it
This
was.
was really
You
cool.
that was a good game too. I would have won if not for that. You literally beat me by one attack.
That was amazing game. And then I just
One by
nuked your
one
board.
cast, you mean?
Like one cast. We each had one unit left on the board and he beat me by one cast. It
Yeah,
was
I
really
got
cool.
first, he got second. So it was a cool game.
Dragon Soul was interesting for me. Because I was playing Cog Reroll and I just stuck that on him with a Ginsu's QSS, and I think I had a Rabadon's or something like that. And basically, because he's single target damage, he would just like eat everybody, right? So he'd like eat through the tank at first, 20% max health, true damage, and then that would help him ramp up, and then he'd just be like, it's like machine gunning all over the place, and that was really cool. I thought.
Yeah. I liked the cog build. Anyway, yeah, I think I did something cool with the cog, but I can't remember its name. Something like anomaly that gives extra attack speed, ramping attack speed, which is exactly what he needs, right? So like I was like just machine gunning everyone. The question is here is like there's 60 anomalies. I'm a bit worried that balance-wise, this is a major task that probably cannot be solved by
Yeah. So
by
like
event.
you get given your anomaly. You don't get to choose it, right?
No,
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 you
no.
can reroll it.
So
You
As long as
reroll
you
oh
have
for one
gold.
gold. Yeah.
oh my god, I've just been like, oh, thanks for the anomaly. Put my character in and hit accept. Oh, I didn't know you could re-roll them for 1 gold. Okay.
Yeah, that's the thing. So I'm not sure if they cycle
Right.
or
So
if you
I'm
can
picking the
get it
bottom
back.
10.
Yeah, I don't know how the roll mechanic works for anomalies actually.
But just think about the skill ceiling, the new heights of skill ceiling, knowing 60 anomalies and how they interact with each board and each champion and which one is the best in slot anomaly for each fucking board. I mean, this is just another level of knowledge that pros will have probably. The edge that they will have over
You mean
us.
us?
Yeah.
You mean us as
Yeah,
pros when we get to pro level?
Yeah.
exactly. Yeah. So anyway, anomalies are cool. I think I see a few problems with them being too OP in the right hands. The other huge thing they added is this is the biggest ever patch of augments ever released. So they released something like a crazy number of new augments that was never done before. And these ones are, some of them are just broken. One of the favorite one that I seen, I think it was the forward thinking one. Oh yeah, this one. I think this, I would be surprised if this moves into live. So lose all of your gold. This is a 4-2 augment. You can only get it at 4-2. Lose all of your gold, all of it. And after 6-player combats, gain back the original amount and another. This is 80 right now. I think this is a mistake. Anyway, so basically you suck it up and you lose streak stage 4, which is, you can say it's risky, but then you get all of your gold back. So let's say you're sitting at 50 gold, and then you get 80 extra. So you're getting 130 gold that you can roll
Wow.
down 6 turns later. So basically a 5-2. And if you're in a good spot, you're not losing much HP. This is crazy. This is like hitting your 3-star 4 costs amount of gold. So
the hilarious one
take
that I
this one.
found was, scroll down a little bit, Golemify. It's a gold augment. Right there.
Golemify.
Golemify.
Oh, yeah.
So you lose all the champions, like all of your champions, and then you gain one golem with all of their combined HP, 70% of it, and 50% of their combined attack damage. I was like, when I got it in the game, if my build wasn't quite so complete,
Yeah.
I think I would have tried to choose it.
That looks like my favorite augment.
Basically, yeah, it wants to be a gold version of restart mission, right? A little bit like that, right? You sell all your board, and then you get something strong out of it. But this stays on your board, right?
Yeah, that stays.
So-
But how would you ever kill that golem? I mean, if you have like 4 decent tanks.
I want to try this now.
Yeah, I want to try
Yeah,
it too.
Imagine that, 4 decent tanks at 2,000 HP or whatever, 1,500 HP.
Yeah.
Stu, do you know which stage you got offered this?
I was just thinking that. I think it was 3-2.
3-2, right?
Yeah, I think it was 3-2.
Okay.
4-2 would make it really OP. 3-2 would make more sense with the restart mission sort of notion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I could see you putting stuff like if you get a Randuin's and then like stick him next to a Garen, like
Can the golem
huge.
take items?
That's probably not, I'd say. Otherwise, I feel like that would be way too OP.
No way. That's
Imagine you
cool there.
what's the one? Is it Silver Mirror Dawn or one of those where you get a duplicate of it? If you could put that on there.
It's not Silver Dawn, it's the other one. Mirror image, something like that.
Mirror image, yeah.
The other really cool one was this one, a magic roll. Roll 3 dice, gain rewards based on their total.
That's the new similar Call to Chaos type of thing, right?
Yeah, but this can really fuck you over if you roll low, but you can really high roll with this, so it's a total.
Yeah, I'm hitting straight 18.
So you can from gold augment you can get a team +1, I think, which is crazy. Oh yeah, it has a prismatic version. So now, and at the start of the next 2 stages, roll 3 dice. So you get it every stage, which is really high value.
That's amazing. I think along those same lines, there's one that I encountered. It's called Prismatic Pipeline. And I was a bit distracted. My kids were running around and while I was playing, so I didn't read it properly. But the next non-player combat round drops an additional prismatic orb full of amazing loot. All gold and prismatic orbs contain even more loot.
Oh yeah, I've seen someone take this Froden maybe in his replay. It's cool. So it's if you get lucky with a prismatic on Krugs, then you get extra lucky with this. There's a lot of like this RNG addition, which I love.
There's a lot of I think all these augments are more for the casual player. It introduces a ton of variants, but it's like a lot of fun, right?
Yeah.
I don't know
how
practical this would be in like on the pro scene,
or even climbing, right? But like if you're casual in, you could hit that and it could be a fast 8th or it could be a guaranteed first.
I only ever hit Call to a Chaos when I know I'm behind and I can hit something really cool, or I have no other takeable options. If I am in a good spot leading, then I never take it because I can get hit by a useless 3-star 3 costs and then I'm fucked.
Yeah.
Right? So
I was playing. Okay, one time I hit Call to Chaos because I was behind, and I figured this could be a good way for me to catch up. And I knew that if I got something anywhere halfway decent, I would have probably won out the lobby. I ended up getting, I think it's 6 or 8 emblems, different emblems. And guess what line I was playing? It's the worst.
Wait,
It's the worst
the
line.
current patch.
No, last patch. I was playing built different.
Oh,
And
oh wow,
yeah,
that is terrible combination.
so it like took up 6 bench slots. I couldn't equip anything on them. Like became completely useless, and I basically just like gave up. It was the worst
that's
thing.
a forfeit. That's a forfeit right there.
Yeah,
It was the 4-2 augment as well, so it was pretty bad.
Build different was not popular when you started playing, Toby, but it might come back. It's sometimes it has these occasional peaks when build different is just OP. It's
is
when
is that when you like pick nothing to the same, basically?
yeah, it's when you have no traits active on the unit itself, then you gain attack speed and health a lot. So it's basically
Okay.
it revolves around building different strong forecast units. Just one more augment thing that I want to mention is I never been offered this one, is the martial ones.
The martial law one.
No, the trait ones. So there's a new kind of augment,
Yeah.
which basically pairs champions together. These are called trait augments, and these are really cool. So this one here, Genius, it pairs Heimerdinger and Echo together. They, they build different interactions and buff each other up. And the only time I seen these augments, they ended up first or second. So they seem to be really OP. I just want to get them offered to me and
I think
play
they
them.
are. I think they're totally. I mean, let's look at them, right? Like martial law is, yes, you could theoretically say because it's an Mbessa and a Caitlyn pair, it would be hard to pull off if you had to roll for it. But they give you a Caitlyn and an Mbessa, so they give you a 4 cost and a 5 cost.
Oh, that's true. I haven't thought about this.
So like it's not that hard to pull off because it gives it to you. Yeah, and then there's a powder and a Silco, so that's a 1 cost and a 4 cost. The Vi and Echo as well. Like
Or
some of these are
even if
very
you
difficult if they were not given to you, but because they're given to you, I feel like that's just teetering. Like it sends them over the edge in terms of power.
Good point, because I never got offered this, so I never read it. Like it actually gives you the champions, so you can straight away start working on that. And I think these augments are only offered at 4-2, if I'm not mistaken, because it's a 4 and 5 costs mostly. So I imagine they are offered only at 4-2. So you're getting these quite late in your game, so you have to quickly change your game plan and adapt, which is really cool, I think.
I think this could be like if you just know these. What is there, 6 of them or 7? Yeah, if you know those 7 combinations and you're building, say, martial law, right? And then you get an RNG of 2 random jinxes like early or off the carousel. Maybe you grab a jinx and you're already playing martial law, so you're going to have a V. So you're like, I'm just going to keep that just in case I get that augment.
I think we kind of assume it's the 4-2 augment. So if you're getting close to 4-2 and you happen to get a lucky like high cost, like a 4 cost or something like that, you could always pick it up, hold it, speculate if you have good econ or you need to.
Any of the 4 cost Mbessa, Echo.
Yeah. These are also influenceable similar way as the spatula and
emblems and stuff.
The emblem augments, right? So
Yeah.
if you play it before the augment pick, then I think you have a higher chance to get it.
There's like a lean, right? A small percentage lean or something.
Yeah.
I think my one concern about this series of augments is the fact that 2 of them are prismatic and 5 of them are gold. Like I feel like they should all be along the same level and in the same level of power. It's a bit concerning to me in terms of balance.
When you pick that augment, it also acts as an active trait. So I was looking up martial law, the augment, but it is also a trait. So you can see on the left of your screen if it's active. It's kind of cool. There's another thing, another one No scout, no pivot, which is also, I think this one is amazing as well. So basically, units can no longer be benched or sold after fighting in a player combat.
Yeah, the no scout, no pivot thing looks pretty crazy. So you cannot. So basically, it goes on, it doesn't come off, and then there's a stacking trait, right?
Yeah, it stacks infinitely. So yeah, once they fight, they gain some health, attack damage, and ability power. So I can see some merit to it.
You're really going to need to know your board placement.
I think this is a master tier. You only
Yeah,
pick it if you really know how to play a certain board.
Yeah.
Level augment.
I think you can move it around on the board. You just can't put it back on the bench.
And can't sell it.
Yeah, you can't sell it.
Can't sell it.
Oh, okay. So you can still readjust your board for fighting different comps.
Yeah. Repositioning is important. So you
yeah, it is called no scout. So I thought maybe that's what it was about.
So shall we jump in the comps?
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Okay, so I made some note on my stream what I did try. I had more than these games, but there were some repeat games as well. Let's jump into it. The first thing, I took a first place this morning with Emissaries, if I pronounce it right. So Emissary is an interesting trait. It's the one that it's either 1 active or 4 active. You cannot have 2 or 3 active. It's a Emissary. Yeah. So it's Tristana, Nami, Ambessa, and Garen. So I think this is one of the most interesting traits this set, and I think it's gonna be overplayed as well because it's so strong. So you either splash, you can just decide to splash 1 Garen to any comp, and it will buff up that comp. I don't know if it tells the bonuses.
Yeah, right.
So with a Garen on combat start, Garen and allies to his left and right gain 20% of his max health, right? So if you just slam this and buff up the front tanks with 1 Garen, or you decide to build around 4 emissaries, and that will use all of these guys' buffs on the entire team. And these are all team-wide, mostly team-wide buffs that these guys give. So Ambessa gives allies armor and magic resist. Nami gives bonus mana, and Tristana gives attack speed. Right, so building around a sorcerer comp would make sense because sorcerers would use attack speed and also use the mana. They need tanky frontline, and they can use magic resist as well. So what I did is I played around just that. So I added sorcerers, Zoe here, LeBlanc. Kit was a watcher, yeah. So basically, this was, I think, the core, and then you can decide to add Black Rose or just 2 watchers to add more tankiness to it. Or you can, at 9, you can play 6 sorcerers, which also I tried. I think it was, I went up to 8 sorcerers for Emissary. I got 2nd place in a prismatic lobby as well. So just playing around emissaries, I think it's super fun and it's flex. So you don't have to stick with sorcerers. You can try other comps. You can try Quick Striker to complement the Ambessa, which are the Quick Striker champs. So you can play some kind of reroll comp with the Nocturne and the Akali and play this. I think this sounds really strong as well. I'm yet to try. I yet to try the Quick Strikers. I think Quick Striker reroll Akali Nocturne is a potential. I have it on my list here to try. So what do you think? Have you guys tried the emissaries yet? I do think it will be highly contested on the live patch.
Yeah, I've tried splashing in emissary.
Yeah.
Mostly with Garen because I kind of like the Watcher frontline right now. Feels pretty strong, and the Garen just just a single Garen gives based off of his HP. I just throw a bunch of Warmogs on him, and he gives his team a percentage of his health as a bonus, right,
Yeah.
to adjacent allies, etc. So I've used that as a bolster to my Automata reroll comp, where you've got the 3-star or 3-cost Blitzcrank standing next to a Garen that has 2 Warmogs on him, and he's fully loaded, and it's like damn near unkillable. And it's really good because then it adds like this element of stall that is like hilarious when you get the previous anomaly for the Kog'Maw. So just letting him ramp up with the Ginsus and then start erasing people. So that's
Yeah.
about the extent that I've tried to flex an emissary. I haven't structured any comps around 4 emissary yet. I've been really keen to like try out some of the other ones. At one point, I hit. I think you were watching this game. What did I hit? I hit 8. The I can't even remember what they're called anymore. It's the Caitlyn and the
Enforcers.
Enforcers.
yeah.
Puppy
I hit
dogs.
8 enforcer at one point.
8 puppy dogs, bro.
So that
Yeah,
was a lot of fun
I
too.
would like to talk about that. I think enforcers are super strong, vertical, right? I did try to play it, and and in my games, I see 2-star Camilles just taking out my entire board, and that's a 2-cost unit, right? So I tried it in a game with 3 of us, Tommy and you, and then I was like complaining in the group chat, like, fuck, I'm not hitting my Camilles. Where are my Camilles? I kept scouting. No one's playing enforcers. And then at one point, at 4-2, you're like, hey, Tommy has a 3-star Camille in his board. And Tommy's like, oh yeah, sorry. Like that. he was like not giving any. I was complaining like loudly in our voice chat that, hey, I'm not hitting my Camille's. He doesn't say a word, and then we realize he has like a 3-star Camille in his board. But I still, so how strong that is at the enforcer line, I still got 3rd place, even with a 2-star Camille. And I think like 6 enforcers.
What is Camille a 2-cost? Is she or?
It's a 2-cost, yeah.
Okay.
And I think Camille is overtuned. So if you talk about overtuned units, Camille and Swain pops into my mind.
Yeah.
But enforcers is strong.
There you are.
I was just telling everyone how you trolled me on our enforcer game with your 3-star Camille. Anyway, welcome, Tommy. How are you? I was saying the verticals, enforcers, rebels seem very strong, and then pit fighters are okay. From the reroll lines, I tried the family reroll. This was without any
Family
hero augment, right?
Dom Toretto's favorite front line.
So I didn't hit any of the hero augments or anything, but I still got 4th place. And this was the game when the Vi was like pulling with the Anomaly in. Like, it was a cool game. I think it's okay as a 1-cost reroll. And the other one that I think it's both mine and Stu's favorite is the Automata reroll, the Kog'Maw reroll, and we play different versions. I like to flex in the Fireflies.
That's cool. Yeah.
You like to do something different.
I like Dominators in there, or sometimes I try to go.
Let's play around with this a bit.
4 snipers or something like that. 6 snipers maybe.
I would definitely approach this as a level 7 reroll comp with the key carries as Blitzcrank and Kog'Maw. This is super cool trait. So what they do is they ramp up. The more they cast, the higher damage they do. So it's like kind of like a stall comp. So you want to build a lot of frontline, and then let the Kog'Maw do his work at the back. And the Kog'Maw also ramps up with attack speed, so it's like a magic. It's like a Kale from set 10 back then, the Penta Kale. A little bit similar to Cassio, set 12, right? An attack speed magic carry.
What about,
But it's
okay, magic carry.
yeah, but it shoots really fast, so it doesn't even have to move because it gains range as well with the casts. So super cool. And I think it's not strong. let's just start to say with that it's not strong, but the fantasy of building this comp and winning with it is strong within us. So,
I felt it was okay strong. I think the issue of the strength was workshopping the items for the cog, right? That's something that we talked about. Like a Ginsu's is like a must, but then what else goes with it? We looked and we tried to figure out maybe something like USS, maybe another Ginsu's, JG, Rabadons. But I think the biggest concern that I have, and the reason why it kind of feels a bit underwhelming right now, is that the cog is potentially a very good single target killer, but it lacks a lot of splash, which makes it very hard to, I think, like scale later because you need to eat through those tanks faster, right? And I tried it with a Shiv as well, and I found that actually felt pretty good. But other than a Shiv, how else would we improve like the tertiary damage that he could do or secondary damage that he could do?
I think it's definitely a rage blade. I don't see any other build. Even I had the what the Forge augment or the similar augment now. I had I had this build, so I had an Ascension on him. I had Zonias on him, and then I decided to just leave the Rage Blade on him because it was so important to have that ramping attack speed that no other artifact could give. So I didn't turn my artifact. I just had this, and even with this 3-star Kog'Maw, I hit third in that lobby. So that's why I'm saying it might need a buff. But this was, so my idea was this with this comp is that to add the Fireflies, because there's a Watcher Scar, which is a very similar carry to Nico Dispatch, Shapeshifter. It's like a utility stunner tank, right? And you want to pair a Watcher with the Amumu, and then you want to pair a Sniper with the Kog'Maw, right? And then what to add as a 7th, because you want to reroll on 7, and you want to add the Dominator to buff up your Blitzcrank. So what I was adding here is another magic caster that fits well into the team, which was the Cassio.
Yeah.
Which is Dominator. And then this was my level 7 reroll, and I think it's almost perfect synergies. You're not going to use the Quick Striker. You probably... Although there might be a build where the Nocturne is actually the carry because it also seems strong, but this was my build, and I will keep trying this build and see how it can succeed and improve on. Probably later you can drop the Zeri and try to build like a Twitch carry or something like that, or Caitlyn later on. I guess we should talk about Academy a little bit because
we should.
One of the most interesting ones this set. You mentioned it last time we talked about this. It reminds you, Stu, of Exalted a little bit, right? And rightfully so. So Academy. So each match, each game, randomly 3 items are selected. Any items that would be sponsored by the Academy. And whoever builds these items and also have the Academy trait active, these items would be buffed. But also you will receive these items, right? So if on 3 Academy, you will receive 1 item out of the 3. or 4, you receive another, and then 5, the last one. So this adds another element to the game where you can build a build differently every match. I don't think it's a spammable trait, although there will be guys who will try to spam this, right? Just go 5 academy every game and flex it. But it's kind of cool, and I think it fits well with Heimerdinger. What I did is I lost too much HP. That was the problem. That's why I went 7th. But what I did is I did 4 Sentinel here with the Leona, right? Because the Leona is the only tank in this lineup, basically. So I just added the strong Sentinels. I think Eli is the strongest tank probably in the patch right now. And then I just added Loris. And I think eventually I hit a Rumble. And that was my 4th Sentinel. And then I played without the Ezreal here. And then I started building Visionaries as well. So I don't think I played the Lux, but I added 1 Visionary, which one was... oh yeah, it might have been this guy. So this was the only version I played him. But I did see someone top 4ing with 6 Visionaries as well. So it was like very similar to the Scholar build right now on set 12. He had like 3 tanks at the front, strong tanks, and then 6 Visionaries at the back, just casting.
So you're saying Academy with Visionary? Or are we moving on from the Academy?
I think they had something like this. With Visionaries. Oh, they have some tanks over here as well. Okay, so it was like this, I think. Went up to 6.
That's interesting.
6 Visionary. Probably drop this. And then add another Academy. This seems pretty strong, actually. Seems pretty strong.
6 Visionary, 3 Academy.
Yeah.
2 Sentinel.
You need 2 Legendaries on level 8. You'd probably flex something else in. It's probably a 9.
Yeah, probably until you hit, you flex in an Elise, which is a bruiser. Elise is also pretty strong. And then maybe, something else. So you can flex around Academy, Visionary. I think Heimerdinger is strong when he pops off. You kind of have this similar to Rise a little bit. I think it's very similar to the Scholar line.
Yeah, I think the Academy thing's just interesting because, you should check Academy items at the beginning of every game, right? And then that can also help you determine like what line you're going to play potentially, or
how do you,
just AEP versus AD.
You know what Academy items are?
You have to hover over the active in game when you're in match. You have to hover over the active trait. Or what you can do is, like, the pro tip is you open your team builder and put in Academy units, and then hover over there, and they will it will show what items.
Okay, if you don't have any Academy yet early on.
Yeah.
Okay, and those traits are set from the moment the game starts.
Correct.
There's another one that it looks interesting to me that I want to try, which is Experiment. So I've only tried 3 Experiment, just like flexing into the Automata comp. But my favorite trait from set 11 was Faded, right? So with Experiment, it makes it feel like there's a similar mechanic there.
It is, yeah.
It gives you 3 hexes, and then experiments standing on the hexes gain the bonuses of all of the people who are standing on the laboratory hexes. Sorry.
So Zyra Experiment bonus ability damage bleeds enemies for 50% true damage over 2 seconds. Okay, so wow. So if you have 5 experiment active, so each hex will give all the bonuses, right?
Yes.
Each hex will give all the bonuses. Okay, that's pretty cool. So let's say Twitch stands on something and you have the Zyra active, and the hex is here. Twitch stands on it, then he receives this true damage, which is a lot. 50% bonus true
50%
damage,
bonus true damage is a lot.
as bleed. Yeah. Okay, let's build an experiment with this, so to speak.
It's experiment on the experiment.
That also sounds really cool. I didn't like Faded at all, but and the reason is I don't like positioning limitations. It always feels weird, but it might be very strong if you know how to play it. What would you add here? There's a bruiser for frontline, dominator for frontline. There are some crazy builds with this. Definitely, it's a good call, Stu.
Yeah, I just think it's super flexible, and you can basically pick one. I think the best way to play it, because you only get 3 hexes, is you'll have to pick one solid line for front line and then one solid damage line. So either the sniper or the sorcerer, or the what is the ergot, the pit fighter. Yeah, so if you have all 5, you choose 3 bonuses basically of the 3 experiments. And
so you have 5 laboratories on the board, or
yeah, so
and you
okay,
get to choose 3,
so like
or?
macro view of this, right, is you play a 5 experiment. You have to choose 3 to be your primary experiment carries, or primary units based on the bonuses, because there will only be 3 highlighted squares, basically, we call it hexes,
Yeah.
on the board, and you have to put your experiments that you want the active bonus on in there. And then the ones that are in there get that bonus. So if it's like a Zyra, a Twitch, and like the Nunu or something like that, then you'll probably want to play a Bruiser front line, a Sniper back line, and or a Sorcerer back line, something like that, right? And then you want to make. I wouldn't do the Sorcerer back line just because Zyra is a 1 cost, so you're most likely looking at 4 cost Twitch carry, or you're looking at a 2 cost Ergot reroll carry. Something like that would make sense to me. And then the Nunu or the Dr. Mundo, you can do Nunu would be Bruiser frontline. Dr. Mundo would be Dominator frontline. Dominator is interesting because you have a mixture of items or units that can either be frontline or backline that can be carry as well. So yeah, it's a bit flexible, but Dr. Mundo and Twitch are the 4 cost line. So then it'd probably be a fast 8 requirement if that's the line you want to go.
But I feel like if the laboratory is quite powerful, then you can really focus on like a fast comp and then just dumping in whatever high cost you get.
That can also work. Like you can switch who's in the hexes at any point in time to get the bonuses too, which makes this a really, really crazy experiment, so to speak.
It's a perfect high cap legendary board, right?
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah,
I agree.
You can flex in like Savita, Fighter, Mordekaiser, Caitlyn. You know, like probably don't have a line. I don't know. I have to play around this a little bit more. But one thing that I just read, which is I think is insane, if you have an emblem, the bonus of the emblem holder is after 8 seconds or on death, summon a copy of this unit with 40% max health. If you put this on a legendary 2-star unit, a tank, like a Mordekaiser, then this emblem is something else.
Yeah, or the Civica, like easy. Right?
Or the Civica. Yeah. Just one question: if you guys had any success with Chem-Baron yet? I have yet to have any. I played it once, and that was when I tried to do the Academy Flex, and I got 7th because I lost too much health. Chem-Baron is the loose streak trait, if you are not familiar with it.
Let's cover that, because I think probably Toby and Tommy haven't even read it yet.
Right. So my ultimate favorite trait ever released in any set is Heart Steel from set 10, and this is very much like that, although I think a bit less powerful. So you want to have a loss streak, and I think you can have a loss streak already before you activate this this trait. So you can have a loss streak, and then you pick up these units and you have additional bonuses. So if you keep your loss streak, then you will generate coins, basically shimmers, but these are currency. And after you reach a certain threshold in that currency, it will offer you a cash out option. So if you want to buy some loot with that currency, or you want to pass and collect more, right? But if you pass and collect more, then you want to keep losing, so you collect more shimmer. The higher your loss streak is, the more shimmer you collect. There's a fancy explanation here, but I don't think it does well in explaining what it actually does. So you want to keep losing, and then once you generate this huge amount of shimmer, you want to cash out, and then you switch
Does that
to
put health onto your body
midstream.
as well?
It does, but I think that's the secondary use of it, right?
Right. Okay.
I guess for the people who haven't played Heartsteel before, it's almost exactly like Heartsteel, right?
Can I have a look at the? Is it a trait you're talking about?
Yeah.
The Chem-Baron trait.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So basically, you lose streak, and it's like Sugarcraft. Or for a little bit familiar for you, it's like Sugarcraft. There'll be like a number that stacks or something like that. More similar to Heartsteel though, because it's a lose streak trait. So, but just perceptually, right? Imagine building that cake, but if your loss streak is at 3 or more, you build double or triple or more of cake stacks, right?
Right.
And then at a certain point in time, it would allow you to theoretically take the cake out of the oven or leave it in and continue to build stacks. So you either cash out or you leave it back in. Double, let it ride kind of thing. And if you let it ride in this case, right, then you gain health basically. So you take the risk, you gain some HP, you continue to let it ride, and you can cash out later.
Wow.
Yeah, but gaining HP is essentially in contrast of what you want to do, right? Because you want to keep losing, but you keep gaining HP, so the risk increases. It's a very smart design.
Yeah.
And it's why I like it is that it's not as punishing as the augment from set 12, the lost streak augment. What was it called? I forgot. Fortune favors the bold. Because you can lose here, or you can win. But you don't want to, obviously. But you can win, and you have to start generating shimmer again if you lose. But you have to be smart and know when to cash out. If you know that, okay, from this point you get offered the black market rewards, from this point you want to start winning, then you take the reward. So it's like another choice in the player's hand, and it's a high skill ceiling play. So I love it. I hope it's gonna be strong. I think it's ranked as B tier in meta TFT at this point, but I really hope there will be a patch when this trait is really strong.
It's also hard for the normal person to just play it, right? Because it requires you to lose streak. Then you have to either pivot your board hard, or if you've passed up on a couple of black markets, then you want to play your Chem-Barons because they've gotten permanent HP.
Activating it is a bit difficult, right? Because you need a 1, a 2, and a 3 star or 3-cost champion to activate it, so you can't get it running right off the bat. But I would suggest if you get dropped a Smeech or a Rennie at 2-1, then you hold on to those, because maybe you have a chance to activate it from 2-1, and I think that's when it's really strong.
So for now, I guess to kind of summarize a little bit here or streamline it, what do you think are your top 3 comps that you could play that you feel are strong, and then what are 2 that you're going to be experimenting with?
I think the strongest ones are the vertical Rebel and Enforcer right now. Although Conqueror is also something that I see popping up. There, I think the bonuses are too overtuned. Conqueror is the win streak trait, so in opposite to Chem-Baron's. With Conquerors, if you win enough, you generate loot for yourself. I think that's a bit overtuned. I think they dropped too many items. So 6 Conquerors, 8 Conquerors were strong. Yeah, the vertical comp seems to be strong. So Rebel and the Enforcers first. Those are my 2 go-to comps. And what I want to try really hard to succeed with is Automata and also Chem-Baron's. But now that you spiked my interest on experiments, I might just jump in and try that one first.
All right. Well, I think you're going to be trying these on your stream. I'm probably going to be trying some of them on my stream as well. And the next video, what we'll probably do is we'll come and report back, have a bit of footage. We'll see how the comps do. We'll have some updates to some of our favorites and maybe some new ones. Thanks for watching. If you like the content, like and subscribe. And yeah, we'll be back with hopefully some solid comps for you next time.